Good morning. Starting this video at 11:11 a.m. on 4/27/2025. So, last night, as I laid there trying to find a comfortable spot, one of my discs in my back is causing nerve damage all the way down my arm. And I was twisting and turning, trying to find the right way to sleep to where it didn't hurt and wouldn't go away. So I asked the pain, "What are you trying to tell me?" I felt an atmospheric pressure in the room drop, like boom, right? Just like as if you're sinking in water. And I got a message from somebody on Instagram. It was a song that brought back very deep emotions, right? So it was strange. The song hit me and I was just like, whoa. From the inside of my body, my bones were trembling. My body was shaking weird. But it wasn't painful. It didn't hurt. It was more like a recognition of what I've been through to get where I am now. But it was bone chilling. It was crazy. So I just let it feel. I let it process. And I sat with it instead of denying it or distracting myself to make it go away. I kept hearing Bob Ross in my head. As he paints, his paintings are always three-dimensional. Looks like you're actually seeing it. And he would use a lot of dark colors. And he says, without the darkness, there is no depth. Without the darkness, you cannot see the light, the life of the picture. And so I was like, yeah, it's true. You don't appreciate something as much as you do without the depth of how it got there. So this morning I woke up really slow, taking my time, making my breakfast and coffee, and allowing things to process. And I felt like this ancestral call to do a full report. I use cards and numbers and intuition and things that have been coming. Yesterday, I came home and I heard an owl. So even though I was in pain and I thought I should have rested, I went for a walk to a place that I call the underworld. It's a place in the desert where I have to go down, 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 then through a little tunnel to a new canyon that's like below the surface of the earth. It's fun for me. I like it there. And I gave some offerings and I burnt some herbs, some sacred herbs. And I just sat there against this rock that I call the green jaguar. The green jaguar like a healer. felt my body relax. I felt the pain lighten. I felt the noise and the hypersensitivity go away, go back into the earth. When I came home, cleaning up my place or whatnot, I saw a video about grounding, a short, it was YouTube, maybe one of the short reels or something like that. And it said when you contact with earth through grounding, it naturally fills every one of your blood cells with, I forgot the word, I think electromagnetic energy that separates them from each other, giving the space between the molecules in your blood. And that's why it's so instantaneously that they can't even record how it happens. They just, when they do these electromagnetic tests on people, as soon as their bare feet touch the earth, instantly their whole body is radiated with new energy. So I was like, okay, I did the right thing for the day. So we're gonna get into today's reading. I wrote it all down, made notes. That's how I do it. I take an alchemist approach to communicating with the universe. This way there's no biasness of my own mind, your own projections onto what energy is coming through. We all want the energies to say what we want them to say, but taking your time and letting the message come through without your attachment for an outcome is how I like to do things. So today is 4/27/2025. 4 plus 2 equals 6, plus 7 equals 13, plus 2 equals 15, plus 2 equals 17, plus 5 equals 22. The master number of duality. Powerful leadership, intuition, and great accomplishment. 2 plus 2 equals 4. The Emperor card. Lead with wisdom, support, and experience. A father role, guide, protector, and provider. Yesterday, quite a few times, I heard the word scapegoat. So this made me think of Azazel. Azazel is the Jewish, they call it a demon or whatever. It's an angel. And it's the angel of the scapegoat. It represents someone or thing cleansing the community by taking the suffering for the community's shadows. So what they would do is they would get a goat, and with that goat, they would cast all of their, like, you got to remember, these are Hebrew times, way back in the days, cast their sins onto the goat. Sins just being going against your own self, your own nature. That's what a sin is. It's just going against yourself. And then lead the goat into the forest to be eaten by the angel Azazel. It represents a sacrifice. Most times when we hear the word scapegoat, we think of blaming someone. But in Azazel's case, it means a sacrifice for the greater of more of the community. The depth of a person's scar is how the light becomes apparent. Without the dark, there would be no depth. Humility, when accepted and acknowledged, becomes the fertile soil for new growth. Being destroyed and then rebuilt in our own humble truth is to be present and trust, not falling into distraction and boasting or screaming to get your way. Azazel's message. I pulled a rune from my bag of runes. We've got Perthro. It's kind of hard to see. Okay, well, you're gonna have to just trust me that that is the Perthro rune. Perthro represents initiation from the world of spirit. You, too, are involved in the outcome. Remember, you have a hand in every roll of the dice. Your part in these spiritual tests are important for the outcome. So it's like Perthro represents the hidden world, the Norns, the invisible spirit of all things in our reality. And it also represents games. The message is, when you throw the runes, it is how you throw them too that is part of how they land. So you're being initiated, or you're being guided to something that you can't see, so you don't know what it is. But every action you take also determines the outcome. So take some time to sit back and understand this. You may have been noticing that your Kundalini energy has been an electromagnetic hypersensitivity. You're being tested. Your energy changes the energy in any room you walk in without any words being spoken. When your world is filled with magic, it's up to you to acknowledge it, to embody your magic. Accept the fact that it flows naturally, without you needing to do anything. Like the heart beats whether you want it to or not. Your breath functions even when you do not notice it. So the same, your magical energy works regardless of you directing it. It is automatic. 144. Being in unison with the all. As you begin to accept this, you'll notice things come to you as if it were magic. Not expecting brings you unexpected miracles. Just be. This is as naturally done, just as the Fibonacci sequence creates everything we see. So too does your magnetic energy naturally create your magic, your miracles, your world. There's been a lot of messages. I'll take little messages here and there throughout the week, especially when I got a lot going on. I can only take like one card a day or whatever. And it's been like, speak the beautiful things again. Notice the magic in everything. Self-love is not a sin, or it's not so vile a sin as self-neglect. So you're in this point where you're carrying the energy that just changes frequencies. I don't know how to metaphorically put this, but like as if you walk into a room, the electrical energy of you changes the lights in the room, the electricity in the house, whatever. Lights could go dim or flicker or, whatever. So this also shows you that your energy is doing the same to others. So you're like a natural conduit for healing or whatever people in your vicinity need. But it's not from your words. It's not from your imposing your will, if you will. It's just a natural beam that comes off of you, this presence. So, while you're in this mode, speak good things. Practice speaking good to yourself. Practice self-care. Don't neglect yourself, or else they start twisting your arms. There's been a lot of messages coming to me to withdraw, slow down, and be present, right? So slow down, withdraw, and be present is like what I was telling you about when that atmospheric pressure dropped in the room. Boom. And I was hit with that deep emotional sadness of the past, but with the honor of where I am now. Being present is not trying to deny something. Like usually when people, they feel emotional, they get busy, right? So they're sporadic, they're on the go, they're on the move. Anything but this feeling, right? Well, then it's just it's gonna stay there. And before you notice it, you're addicted to distraction from that feeling. Where if you just feel it, allow it to come through, it's not always doom and gloom. It's usually a message. How else would you know that all that stuff you overcame and never gave up on, and slowly, calmly, humbly meaning no more God complex on your posts and YouTube memes or whatever, no more proclaiming self above others or status or any of that crap. You're just calmly walking through your evolution. And what you can offer, you do. What you don't, your silence and your presence beams out. So remember to talk good about the things. Notice how the darkness, the depth in your life has brought the vibrant color to your painting. Okay, this morning, the first card was Owl Medicine from Mystical Summon Oracle. I love this deck. Owl, the owl. And how significant, right? I mean, the owl screeched. I went to nature, I gave offerings, I was healed. Owl medicine goes like this. The owl is the master of the night and can see situations with clarity, especially in the dark. Owl discerns the truth when others cannot see it, to help you find your light. Owl brings messages from the invisible world, the Perthro rune, and opens your ears for us to acquire wisdom from the ancestral guides, to make that wisdom your own. Notice hidden messages. Be grateful to those who show you what you do not want to see. Observe this. Observe this all without judgment. Remember, what you dislike is actually a mirror of yourself you do not want to recognize. Let this truth be your compass to find your true north, as you may be off your own course again. You may have deceived yourself. An owl insists you move forward with pure and transparent motives. It's time to sit with patience. What messages are you not hearing? What situation are you not seeing clearly? Bide your time until you see clarity, then act decisively, without hesitation or remorse. So the owl is trying to show you, you may not be seeing something or getting something, right? And this is true. With so much going on in the world, in your time, life, day, food, bills, family, kids, grandkids, friends, activities. How could you hear something? This reminds me now all week. Hearing messages over and over from like the strangest of things, people walking by randomly, talking amongst themselves, commercials, just, everything in the universe talks if you know how to read it or if you can catch it. Shit, what was I saying? I picked up a lot. What was it? Oh, your inner voice is trying to talk to you, but your mental chatter and distractions are keeping you from hearing that message. So I started noticing this more, the more pain my body was in. I always do that. I take an alchemical approach to the body, just as I do anything else. I know different discs in the spine represent different planets in the sky or days of the week or different meanings, and they connect to organs, and all those things come from a mental invitation from our brain. What are we telling our brain that makes this disc hurt and pain, and then that pain shoots sensors through this arm, and what organ is that connected to? So when you understand this kind of inner knowledge, ancient wisdom about yourself, you understand that your diet, your mind, and your actions are out of alignment. The organ tells you what nutrition or diet is not functioning properly. The disc tells you what planet and what house. Well, for mine, this one was because it's Jupiter in the thoracic. I thought it was the fourth house because the pain area is so large, but in the hospital the other day, she actually pointed to it. Jupiter in the second and third house. T3, 2 and 3. So you can look, I didn't look that up. Jupiter in the second and third house. Jupiter expanding on how you are seen by others and how you work in collaborations with others. So Jupiter is the guru of your internal self. So your internal guru is trying to forge and sharpen how you're seen by others, and teaching you how to use that to work well with others. But if you're not paying attention, if you're running too fast and you're doing too much, it twists your arm because the nerves go all the way down your arm, lock up your entire arm, cause a big, huge swelling pain in the back until you sit down and notice. Sit with the pain. Study the body. Study the mind. It's easy for me to say these things because it's just so ingrained in my brain from practice over the years. But it takes a long time to understand all this wisdom, all these different messages from the other world. I came to the acceptance a long time ago that I am empathic by nature. Which it means you're really affected by everything in your environment. But if you look into how we develop these abilities, empathic people have been through a lot of chaos. They learn to read how their senses feel like an animal out of safety, learning how to navigate away from or through hostile environments. And over time, as they develop, they just naturally absorb other people's energies because your whole nervous system is now used to relying on the sensations of the world around you to understand what you're going through, what others are going through, how to interact with people, how to withdraw, how to, So you end up absorbing people's shit naturally, just like the magic says. It does it on its own. It's just like your heartbeat. It's not something you can even try to manipulate, control, or force, or direct. It is automatic. So, after the owl, we got Dream Weaver from Shamanic Medicine. And yes, part of keeping the biasness of my own mental projections out of the read means that you follow the messages that come with the card so that the card can speak to you, not your own internal desire. A dream of yours is unfolding. Watch closely to your dreams. You are being slowed down so you can remember your dreams. If you rush when you wake, the dream is forgotten. Go to bed with a clear conscience. You are manifesting in your dreams. Recording your dreams makes them come true. Remember, dream world is the true you without the filter. So the dream world, that part of the true you without the filter, it's unapologetically you. It's your most natural state of mind because there's no constraint or constriction or choice of words. Because when you understand how you used to react in your darkness, in your chaos, in your hostility, your misunderstandings, you understand how people are also fully allowed to misunderstand things. So you choose your words a little differently, right? You choose them to not inflict pain or poison, but to shed light. And let me tell you, like when people shed light on things, it's its own inner tragedy sometimes. But it is revealing, it is empowering, it is healing, it is helping guide. But if you didn't understand that, and light was shed, let me just put it to you like this. I grew up with a lot of very strong people who lived in very, well, I say grew up. They were in my environment, family, yada, yada, yada. But my home was very, it wasn't, there was no, there was no dangerous crime, or it was very safe. And anyways, so a lot of elders I used to know would always say this: don't take my messages lightly. When I tell you something, know that I know from the hard way. So from my darkness, I can shed light on your situation, right? Knucklehead wisdom, but it was good wisdom. So the you are in your dreams is the you without that filter. Because in the dream world, everyone interprets the message the true way without the attachment to the identity or the hurt or the suffering or the need or the desire or the want or the whatever was been programmed, right? We wear a lot of masks in the real world. Everybody does. Being able to see them all, it makes me smile more. Even when you can see a lie, you don't focus on the lie. You don't focus on the lie. You focus on the why. You're like, oh, I see that. I understand. You don't focus on the tantrum. You focus on the hurt. Why they tantrum? You're like, okay. I honor that. I can see that. And you choose your words carefully. In the dream world, there's no need to, because nobody is wearing those false personas. If you say, look out, an owl is flying down, in the dream world, the person ducks. In reality, you say, look out, an owl's flying down, they're gonna think you're screwing with them, and the owl will clench under their head. It's just the fundamentals of human behavior and morals. So, pay attention to your dreams. You're being slowed down so that you can remember them. If you wake up after a very deep, vivid, impactful dream, and the first thing you say in your mind is, I've got to go here, I've got to do this, oh, it's time to get up, and I don't want to get up 10 more minutes, and the dream's gone. The dream is gone. There's no way of recovering it, because it's another dimension that actually exists. But if you rush, you can't see that other dimension. Just like meditation. If you're in a hurry, you cannot see nor hear the guidance of your soul. The soul is everything. Soul exists in all dimensions. Fractal universe. There's probably an infinite number of yous. I say probably because until I can pull that other me out of that dimension and say, hey, let's sit down here and we're both talking to you at once, it's only a probability. But it's something metaphysically true. And if you're in a hurry, you will never be in touch with any of those other dimensions, guides, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it. Physics, electromagnetic energy, whatever it is to you. It doesn't matter. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I don't care. Believe what you want. But if you don't slow down, you're going to miss the messages. If you don't wake up in peace, record your dream. Pay attention. You don't have to remember the whole thing. But the longer you sit remembering your dream in the morning, the more dreams you can remember, the more messages you can bring into the reality. And as we see, your energy, your Kundalini energy, is naturally manifesting from the spirit world through your dreams. And for some reason, you have been taking on the suffering of others as a sacrifice. I don't think you need to sacrifice yourself right now. Whenever Azazel comes to me, it's either letting me know someone is self-sacrificing me, and it'll be depending on how the encounter with Azazel comes. Or it'll be letting me know that I myself am sacrificing someone for something I am trying to avoid. Or, in this case, we are taking on the suffering of others when we really don't need to right now. But it also does let me know, there's fractal meanings and all this. It also does let me know that they were twisting my arm because I have messages that come through. They're trying to talk to me because somehow somebody, maybe many people who are watching this right now, are connected to the same spiritual ancestors that are telling me a message. So it's like that. I'm gonna use a really down-to-earth understanding of this. It's like I had a lot of family that grew up in prison, right? And they may be locked down in one area, right? And they can't communicate with someone in another area. So they'll use a medium, whether that be a guard, a trustee, somebody who writes them letters or whatever, to get a message to another person. Same with spirit guides. So one of you, many of you, are connected to the same spirit guides that are telling me this message. So it's kind of avoiding my responsibility to let it flow, right? Plugging up the pipeline creates pain in the body. So then we got some more runes from the Viking Oracle. Ansuj. Ansuj is about clear mind, clear communication. It's the rune I always associate with Odin because it's like pulling the Ansuj rune and meditating helps you go into the inner world so deep and far that you go beyond the matrix mentality, I guess, right? And when you're outside of that firmament, if you will, you can actually receive the divine medicine. But it also represents being still, only moving when you have to, and allowing the voice of whatever you believe in come through. Here's the message. Listen to your intuition and messages from your higher power. Ancestors and divine beings flow through your veins. So when I was writing that, I had the visualization of the grounding, sending energy to your blood cells, separating the molecules to give them space. And in that separation of your blood molecules, giving them the space, able to understand that there's hundreds of thousands of ancestors of different races, different ethnics, different cultures, different places in the world, probably different worlds, probably different animals, species, whatever, all flowing in your blood, right? So you're the DNA of just way beyond. So if it's within your blood, why wouldn't you trust when they're talking to you internally, right? Ancestors and divine beings flow through your veins, and with that can speak to you from within. Silence your mind, and you will hear the truth. So that was the message from Ansuj, that little run down there. The next one was Raido, the rider. Another rune of Odin, the wanderer, the journey, the rider. Okay. It's asking you to focus on the now, the present. It's telling you the message right now is to reject the time frames others have placed on you. Do not accept unreasonable expectations or opinions right now. Look to your own sense of timing and what feels right to you. Feel the space and the freedom to choose wisely without others' anxiety or excessive pressure to decide. You are on a journey to personal freedom. That does not require outer influence. So, a strong message from Raido to not follow outer guidance right now. Allow all things to come, be in the flow. That's the next one. Look to your own senses and be present. Okay, the next rune was Ehwaj. Now this is the horse. The rider is in partnership, because this does mean union, partnership. So the rider is in union with its horse. So right here, that in itself has a different message altogether. We now have the rider, Raido, and the horse, Ehwaj, which symbolizes the ascended self in union with you, the physical body. You're the physical representation of your higher self. You know, you can put this however you want. You know, you play video games, you're the avatar of the higher dimensional energy that guides you. This says, do not resist the flow of energy. Move with it. Your power is riding with the current, not against it. A time to withdraw, a time to plan and prepare, and a time to move forward. There is no schedule to follow. This will occur energetically. Do not fight it. Water flows. So this message is telling you, your ascended self is telling your body, I need you to follow your own instincts. Trust your intuition. Trust when there's time to retreat. Trust when there's time to move forward. If you resist this, pain comes. It's just a natural fact. If you ever notice, you can symbolize it like this. Let me see. Let me create a scenario in my mind. There's a party, right? And there was no preparation or anything. It just instantaneously popped up while you were relaxing and you had no plans for that day but to enjoy your energy. Then they invite you, and you're like, I was going to enjoy my energy today. The pressure, oh, but come to the party, right? The pressure is you fighting your natural calling to, boundaries, right? I've already chose this day for grounding and relaxing. When you go against your energy, your body will feel tense, right? Because there's two things. Number one, you're going to the party, right? But you didn't really want to. So now you're forcing yourself to appear as you're having a good time while internally suffering with, damn, I really wanted to lay in my hammock today. That kind of tension creates conflict within your body. Your brain is going, I don't understand. This is what we want, but this is what you're forcing us to do. And that sends signals throughout your body and gives you pains, twists, cramps, upset stomachs, nausea, headaches, old injuries flare up. All right, so I just noticed this. These things come from a lack of self-confidence. So the mantra from Greg Braden's book, Wisdom Codes, was Om Namah Shivaya. Now, I don't use mantras as like a... Anyways, when a mantra comes to me, I understand the message of it. Why? Why does this mantra want to speak to me? Because this mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, is a mantra that brings self-confidence within. It builds inner strength and aligns you with your purpose, right? So when mantras come up, I repeat them in my mind over and over because it does a lot of good things for me. If I'm in a very chattery, chaotic place and I can't hear my own thoughts, or I can't even, the tension starts to build in your ears, you're like, Om Nam Shivaya, Om Nam Shivaya, Om Nam Shivaya. Inside your mind, right? It tunes out the hostile frequencies and allows your mind to go, fuck, okay. And then in that same energetic inner dialogue, you're restructuring your mind to fill your body with self-confidence, inner strength, and purpose, knowing how to handle your purpose. So those are the energies that I transmuted. This book's really helpful too. There's a lot of meditations and practices and stuff in there, understanding your psychic abilities. So now that I have pulled or delivered all the messages the universe wanted me to share, let's pull some tarot cards, see what's up. Okay. All right. You've been out of balance, right? Juggling too many things at the moment. And while you're doing so, you're avoiding the emotional turbulence within. You need to settle your own inner storm. No patience, not being practical. These two go hand in hand. When you're out of balance within, you're not thinking correctly, you're not healthy, you're doing things sporadically and chaotically rather than taking your time and planting one seed at a time, watching the growth, observing the facts, putting your money where it will grow rather than where it will just diminish. So if you want to turn these two around, if you want to create balance and a very trusting road, very stable, long-lasting, patient road, calm your inner self. Balance your emotions and your thoughts. You're being called. You're waking up to something new. So, you may have been bound by an idea of yourself that wasn't true, right? This may have made you feel dead inside. But you're getting a call, this energy that's coming through, this intuitive, ancestral, inner dialogue. Listen, I have something for you. Listen, let's follow. Is waking you up to a new outlook on life, right? It's not so much judgment as being judged as changing your judgment on something. Your perspective opens up. You see, whoa, fresh new eyes. I'm not really dead, am I? And this is all coming from higher powers, whatever you believe, the Perthro rune, invisible worlds. Oh, wow. Okay. Here's what we got. Oops. We've got the World card, inverted Eight of Cups, and guided in society or private, keeping matters private. Now, the funniest thing I always have to point out about this card. These two are meeting in a private, secluded place to enjoy space with each other, right? But in the background, there is always somebody sneaking off with disclosing this private engagement, right? So, what's coming on is you finished. You have completed a very long cycle of life and built very core fundamentals within you. You can go ahead and feel pure and free to start a new walk. There's nothing really more to find outside of your own energy. You don't have to walk away from yourself. But you do have to keep your things more to yourself, more intimate environment, smaller circles, less opinions. Maybe, I know all of you out there, I don't know why I don't have a lurker account. Maybe you have a lurker account on your social medias that doesn't really have so many opinions. I know on mine I have like over 2,500 people, and a lot of people, you know? Like, so you want to keep things more to yourself. Now, of course, there's always going to be these people. And guess what? They always run off with an assumption because they're not involved. They're not involved in this private arrangement, this taking time out to just embody and be present with someone else. They're watching from a lurker's point of view and running away with assumptions to create gossip. Oh well, it's always gonna be. It's always gonna be. Don't let it affect you. Still, and the more you keep things private and to yourself, the more people want to interrupt that sacred space between you and another. Maybe that sacred space is just between you and whatever it is. close down a little. Smaller groups, less activities, more private and intimate connections, and stop walking away from things. You've done a lot in your life. There is change coming. Leaving behind literally, the ego identity of whoever you were is dying. It's old, it's outdated, you're becoming something new. The more you hold on to, I have been this my entire life, the more you're gonna suffer. The more you hold on to, I need this and I need that and I need, the more this death and transformation is gonna be painful. Let it die. Let it die. Move forward. After the death, the butterfly is born, right? There's a new you unfolding. You've completed a chapter. Along with this death, accepting the loss of your old identity brings large gifts, a large blessing, something tangible, fundamental, financial that can begin a large chunk of money to begin a journey to your complete personal freedom, right? What is personal freedom? It's the ability to not have to listen to others' demands in order for you to live a good, healthy, happy, nutritious, clothed, sheltered, happy environment. Pleasure, enjoyment, loyalty, love, family, traditions, agriculture, things that grow, things that are patient. So, you let this old you die. Accept that you're manifesting in your dreams. Understand that your energy works without you wielding it. You're not doing this on purpose. You have just embodied the soul of the universe. So allow all things to die. Receive this big, abundant blessing. Oh, and here we go. A plan you have made is coming. You've prepared for something by securing an establishment where you are. Where you are right now is growing and prosperous. There's a lot of passion and purpose in it. But now you are ready for that true desire of manifestation. Whatever goal, long-term goal you always aspired towards is about to be here. So, with that, know that standing in your power, the King of Wands, everybody would think Knight of Wands energy, running around, I got this, I got that, I'm in charge, I'm in lead, no. Is more of a director of inspiration. And like the Emperor, experience and inherit innate wisdom helps to point the direction for others so that they can be inspired and live their life truly. So that's what I have for you today. And I hope that was helpful. If you're like me, you just pick up things and you're like, okay, I don't understand, but all of a sudden the world says, sit down. I need to sit down. The more you fight that, the more it does not feel good. So you've probably gone through the same shit I have, and this was your message. So, yep, that's all. Take care.